all across the world on news.com. As I indicated to you, despite these heavy rains that we're experiencing this morning, my guests who have the passion for the development of this country at heart have taken the risk to go through the rains to be with us this morning. And I really want to say thank you to our guests who have joined us this morning for all it is worth and for everything that they've had to go through to be with us this morning. The Honourable Member of Parliament for the North Tongue constituency, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, who is the petitioner in this case of SNIT's intended sale of some 60% of its shareholding in 4 hotels to Brian Achampon's Rock City, is with us this morning. The Honourable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Alfred.
It's just really good to have you join us. Also with us this morning is the Honourable Deputy Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources. He's also a Member of Parliament, the Honourable Amido Isako Chinia. Honourable, appreciate your time. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
All is well?
Yeah, it's fine.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Martin Pebu is private legal practitioner and then also the leader of one of 3 individual bondholder groups. He is the convener for the Komipeko demonstration. Lawyer Martin Pebu, good morning. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Kansi.
Martin Luther Pebu.
Yeah, so it's hot too.
It's hot.
It's really hard. You see how the CD is continuing to lose ground against the dollar. Businesses are complaining. Yeah, and times are getting harder, and the prices going up, etc. I really wonder if this is the same Baumia and Ekufuado who were grandstanding in opposition. They will fix the dollar, fix the CD, fix the CD. All the big speeches today. You've been put in charge, you are in the saddle and Baumia is busy dancing offbeat, whilst the CD is just being plummeted all over. It's a shame.
It's an issue that we will get into. Also, Madame Na Ayele Adefio Sechere is in charge of public relations and campaign for the Trade Union Congress, TUC. Madame Na Ayele Adefio Sechere, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I thought that ladies being first, you would have started the introduction this week.
I know that.
But anyway, thank you very much for having us.
It's good to have you.
And just a small point. Adefio.
Adefio.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed.
And for those who grew up watching GTV, this face is not one that will be a stranger. Thank you for joining us.
I'm happy to be here.
Now, first of all, let's start off with the various pointers for the petition by Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. I'm going to take just bits of the responses from SNIT, and we'll start off the conversation from there. This is it. Take a look. The various pointers that Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa is looking for, amongst other things, answers to the investigation into conflict of interest, abuse of power, lack of due process, procurement breaches, cronyism, and corruption. In fact, amongst other things that the Member of Parliament is asking CHRAJ to investigate. Now, SNIT put out a response this week explaining why they chose Rock City over and above all the others. And this is what SNIT said. And beyond what we put out there, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa is also asking questions of the Speaker of Parliament. And indeed, this question has been answered by Brian Achampon that he hasn't sought permission, really, from the Speaker of Parliament as required by Article 78.3 and 98.2. As we go on, we'll give you the details of those articles. But this is what SNIT said in their response to Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa's petition. A number of things. and we'll start the conversation from that particular point. They say the trust commenced the process with the engagement of a transaction advisor through the international competitive tendering method of procurement, with publication of advertisement Daily Graphic 14th November 2018 and the Ghanaian Times on 15th November 2018. The advertisement was also published in an international magazine, The Economist, in January 5 to 11, 2019. As of January 16, 2019 deadline, 15 firms had expressed interest in submitting bids. Of these, 6 were shortlisted. Approval was sought from the Central Tender Review Committee, and this is at the Finance Ministry, for the selection of a transaction advisor on the 12th of December 2019. We've gotten to know that this transaction advisor is SEM Capital, and we understand that there's some other, it was a consortium that was put together to even do this selection. We're looking into that as well. Following the selection of the independent transaction advisor to guide the selection of a strategic investor, amongst others, further advertisement for an expression of interest was put out for a strategic partner for SNIT Hotels, placed in Daily Graphic 3rd February 2022, and in the Ghanaian Times on 7th February 2022. And it was also published in The Economist, same period, 2022. Based on the criteria set out in this process, Rock City Hotel submitted the best and strongest technical and financial proposal amongst those received. That is what SNIT is saying, that Rock City presented the best. So there are negotiations to buy off the 60% stake in 4 hotels: Labadi Beach, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Rage Royal Hotel, and Elmina Beach Hotel. Question is, we have information that at least 2 out of these 4 hotels are profitable. They are posting some profits. So what's this justification for this decision by SNIT? SNIT has been explaining. And I'll start off with you. Don't know someone to Ablakwa. You had an encounter with the Honorable Brian Champong sometime within the week on radio. And he gave what appeared to be some direct answers to some of the questions you were asking. Has his answers within the week changed your position about this transaction in any way?
Well, good morning, Alfred. Good morning to the panel. Good morning to all our viewers. Let me state very emphatically that the responses from the Honorable Brian Champong has rather strengthened my resolve. He has confirmed all the fears that we had. All the allegations that he put out have been confirmed. He confirms that he is the sole beneficial owner. He's a director, and he's a sole shareholder in Rock City Limited. He confirms that. He has not relinquished his directorship, his managerial control, his shares. He is the sole beneficial owner. When Rock City makes profit, it goes to him and him alone. So he confirms the conflict of interest. And it's very, very clear under Article 284 of our Constitution that the public officer must not put himself in a position that even appears. So there's perceived, there's real. And the Constitution is very clear. Now, the Honorable Brian Champong also confirms that he has not complied with Articles 78.3 and 98.2 of the Constitution. And those provisions in the Constitution are very, very important provisions in the Constitution, which serves as a safeguard to making sure that particularly conflict of interest is prevented. And let me read Article 78.3 of the Constitution. It provides, a minister of state shall not hold any other office of profit or emolument, whether private or public, and whether directly or indirectly, unless otherwise permitted by the Speaker.
Article 78.
Article 78.3. A minister of state shall not hold any other office of profit or emolument, whether private or public, and whether directly or indirectly, unless otherwise permitted by the Speaker, acting on the recommendations of a committee of Parliament on the ground that A, that holding that office will not prejudice the work of a minister, and B, that no conflict of interest arises or would arise as a result of the minister holding that office. No conflict of interest will arise. So this serves as a safeguard under our standing orders, Order 224, You apply to the committee, it's chaired by the second deputy speaker. The committee will assess your business interests, the transactions you are going to engage in. The speaker must give you a certificate before you proceed. So,
well, in his defense, he says he's a non-executive director. He says he's a shareholder. That's what he's been explaining this week. He doesn't hold an office of profit. That's what he's been explaining in his defense.
Look, I have here the articles of incorporation from the Register of Companies. It's here, Rock City Hotel Limited. Articles of incorporation. There are 2 directors, the Honorable Brian Champon, Rosemary Clottey. If you look at the shareholding structure, he's the sole shareholder. Is here. All the shares, Brian Champon is here. You come to beneficial ownership details, and I have all the details on beneficial ownership. He is the sole beneficial owner. He has not relinquished. He has not distanced himself. It is him. All profits come to him. So this business of even non-executive director, are you aware that the chiefs of Edina have even exposed that? I have here a letter that the paramount chief, the Omanhene of the Edina traditional area, sent to the Director General of SNIT and to the Chief of Staff. And let me read it for the benefit of our listeners. Settlement of Golden Beach Resort, land at Elmina. It has come to the notice of the Edina Traditional Council that the Golden Beach Resort, Elmina, has been offered for sale. This came to our attention when Honorable Brian Champon, Member of Parliament for Abetifi constituency, visited the site with the investors. Our main concern is that the land on which the resort is situated is a property of the Edina Traditional Council. We are therefore calling your attention so that we all could solve the matter amicably. Yours faithfully, and this is signed by Nana Kojo Kondua, the 6th, Omanhene of the Edina Traditional Area. So here we have our paramount chief saying that they are seeing him in these hotels, conducting inspections with his investors, preparing to take over. I have other communication from management of these hotels who say that he comes there with his team. They are carrying out assessments. They are preparing to take over. I have all those letters here. So even this claim about he's so distant, he doesn't know what is going on and all of that, I don't think that the venerable paramount chief of the Edina traditional area who says he saw him in his traditional area inspecting the hotel and petitioning the chief of staff that, look, we must have a discussion, because what they were told when Elmina Hotel was being constructed is that they will get jobs, their young people will get jobs, and I've engaged them. So they did not really make sure that government pay the full compensation required. Now that it's going to become a private entity, it will be controlled by a private company, no longer SNIT. They are saying that they want to sit down and receive full compensation. And they say they see him on the site. So
they see him on the site?
Yes,
but
at the hotel.
SNIT is saying that the negotiations are not concluded as yet.
So look, it is clear that this whole deal, which was shrouded in secrecy, as a member of parliament, at no time did SNIT inform us that they were going ahead. The Minister for Employment, the government, at no point did they tell us, and did they engage us, and did they do broad consultations. And you see, that is worrying. When you have a state asset that belongs to all of us, you don't run it like it's your private entity. It belongs to all of us. Why do you keep members of parliament in the dark? Even organized labor, if you read organized labor's statement carefully, the statement dated 20th May 2024. With your permission, let me read.
Right.
It says, at a meeting held today, 20th May 2024, the workers' representatives on the Board of Trustees of SNIT briefed the top leadership of organized labor about the proposed sale of 60% of SNIT's interest in some hotels. The workers' representatives informed the leadership that they had collectively raised objections to the process and had advised that the process be halted. Can you believe that?
So organized labor advised that the
process be halted. And yet, SNIT has proceeded. And if you look at even the latest documents I've intercepted, 7 December 2023, Rock City writing to the management of these hotels, and then the transaction advisor dated 1st November 2023, writing to this management of the hotels, asking them to deliver to Rock City all documents, financials, legal, properties, all documents, and that they should give Rock City unfettered access. You know, so as we speak, this deal is being finalized when organized labor. I mean, and you see, let's not lose sight of the fact that SNIT, its entire existence, is based on the contributions of workers.
Indeed.
It is workers' contributions that the management of SNIT are using to invest in these portfolios. So when you are taking these far-reaching decisions, and you see, the SNIT statement is a very, very, very disingenuous statement.
Why do you say so?
Why is SNIT speaking as though all of these hotels are in the same financial situation and that they need to inject capital, they need to bring in efficiency? I mean, it's incredible. Even the self-indictment. SNIT, you have been given resources. You collect our contributions. You are telling us that you can't manage assets under your watch. You are incompetent. You are inept. You are inefficient. In any case, when you look at the financials, Labadi Beach Hotel, as we speak, is a very profitable hotel. Only last year, Labadi Beach Hotel paid dividends of 25 million Ghana cedis. I have checked. Rock City, since its existence, has not paid taxes to government anywhere near even half of this figure. Labadi Beach Hotel, more profitable than Rock City. Who should be swallowing who? Then you come to Ridge Royal. Ridge Royal Hotel.
So Labadi Beach, 25 million.
25 million last year. The year before, they paid 10 million. Then you come to Ridge Royal Hotel, another profitable entity. I have their financials here, as at March 2024. Financially healthy. Only recently revamped, renovated. I mean, you should go to Ridge Royal. And all of these hotels being managed by Ghanaians, Ghanaian workers, they are doing very, very well. How do you proceed on the basis as though all of this? In any case, even La Palm, which appears to be struggling now, it is because of SNIT's ineptitude.
Why do you blame that on SNIT?
They are not, they don't appoint the right people. Until recently, La Palm was very profitable, very, very profitable. And are you aware, have you seen that memo that I put out earlier in the week, where somebody who acts, Nana Kwachi, who acts after the demise of the managing director for just 6 months, is going to be paid $18,000. I mean, incredible.
This is La Palm?
La Palm. $18,000. I put out that memo earlier in the week. $18,000. A company that you say is not profitable. I mean, and where does this happen? And if these are your practices, why won't you struggle financially? So, look, let's be clear. I have always said that this business of public officials deliberately running down state assets, they deliberately run them down. And then they turn around to purchase them. It has to stop. It makes no sense. Look, how is it that we are told that these assets have been run down, they are not worth our while, they are not profitable, they are a drain on SNIT. And yet, when it is put up for sale, the public officials who told us that, oh, it's not good, it's not worth it, it's a drain, they are the ones racing for it, rushing for it. Does that make sense to you? Is it logical? And the other question to pose is that a cabinet minister who is privy to all of these discussions, because there's no way SNIT, the board and management, will take this major far-reaching decision to divest itself of all of its hotels, and it will not receive cabinet approval. It will not, there will be no cabinet discussions. You are there privy to all of this insider information. But you see, what even worries me the most is that if you have these great ideas, Why is the Honorable Brian Champon not making these ideas available to cabinet? To resuscitate the so-called dying hotels, which we all know is not the case.
So you want him to put up his ideas?
Yes.
At
Why do we
level
send people to cabinet?
For consideration.
Why are ministers sent to cabinet? What happens at cabinet? Cabinet is a deliberation center where you bring your ideas, your expertise to bear. Why is that not being brought to bear? To if he has such grand, ideas, he has a magic wand to resuscitate hotels and make them viable. Look,
he said in
Alfred,
response to you that in terms of decision making, he doesn't take part in the day-to-day running of the Rock City, and so the decisions to buy whichever other struggling hotel, he is not involved directly.
So such a major decision, he wants us to believe. You see, some of these ministers should treat Ghanaians with respect. We are discerning. So there was no board meeting. There are only 2 directors. They didn't have a board meeting. The owner of the company, the sole shareholder, the sole beneficial owner, he's not aware. He's just there waiting for profits. All this investment he has made, he doesn't mind if one person, the other director, takes all of these decisions and runs down his company and all his interests. He's so aloof, he's so removed. What? Where does this happen? Where? Even those who have made trillions of dollars, the world's most richest people, is that how they run businesses that they have interest in, where they are so beneficial owners? Please, they should stop insulting us. They should treat us with some respect. Let me say that fundamentally, I have always been opposed to ministers of state, public officials, buying state assets. It is offensive, it is abominable, it is unacceptable, be tolerated. I mean, look, state assets are put under your care to take care of. You should make sure you take good care of them, add to them, not to annex them, not to grab them for yourself. That is why 16 years ago, when I discovered that the Honorable Jacob Echebi Lamptey, God bless his soul, may he rest in peace, was purchasing his bungalow, I said, what is this? If all the ministers from Kwame Nkrumah, Achampong, Buzia, and others, Rawlings, who preceded him, were buying their bungalows, will any have been left for him to stay in? So the Honorable Dr. Mani Buama and I went to the Supreme Court. He raised a preliminary objection for 2 years, saying that, what's our locus? We should be. By 9-0, he lost. The judges said, the eminent jury said, let's go into the matter. There is merit. Yes, eventually, we lost, the Honorable Omani Buama and I, by 6-3 decision. But if you read what Sofa Akufu said in her dissenting judgment, it's as though...
The former Chief Justice.
The former Chief Justice. It's as though she was prophesying.
What did she say?
Let me read what she said. She said, firstly, I have become extremely concerned of late that in the handling of matters involving the interpretation and or enforcement of our Constitution, there is a growing tendency for this court to become, in my view, unnecessarily ensnared by the particularities and specificities of the facts of the suit and the technicalities of the manner in which it has been pleaded. The big picture being constitutional interpretation and enforcement and its necessary legal impact, not only on the individual parties to the suit, but more importantly, also on the generality of the Ghanaian citizenry for the present and future. It seems to me sometimes tends to become of secondary importance. In my humble view, it is incumbent on this court, where a matter comes before it by way of a writ invoking its original jurisdiction, to trawl through the pleadings in a quest to identify the core constitutional questions in issue, rather than just what the parties claim to be matters in issue. In the instant matter, the real issues was unfortunately obfuscated, unquote. And she predicted that, look, this was an opportunity for the Supreme Court to have made a declaration on public officials, ministers buying state assets. This matter will have been settled for good. And she predicted that in the near future, we will be back here, where ministers will say that, oh, and you heard Honorable Brad Champon this week, oh, you lost the Jacob Echebi Lamte case, so I can go ahead. All those screaming conflict of interest don't have any basis. That is what Yasantwa Sofo Akufo, that's what she predicted, that will be the outcome. Unfortunately, the colleagues didn't listen, but we all know that there have been many cases where the minority decision rather becomes, posterity is fairer and, more celebrating of the minority decision. And that's what has happened in this case. Now you see the clamor. Everybody, civil society. I've heard Professor Yanka. I've heard the respected Dr. Jimandia, Civil Society Coalition Against Corruption.
Yanka is found voice.
Yes.
Laughing at that, so we're doing
I think sometimes we confuse the two. Actually, there's Kojo Yanka.
So this is Kojo Yanka.
Kojo.
Not
who put out last week.
So yes.
Put out this week that
so I am glad that eminent Ghanaians are speaking. Across the unions, clergy, academia, civil society, all of them are saying that, look, this is deplorable. It cannot continue. And you see, Alfred, I am shocked at the levels of hypocrisy and lack of consistency. This week, I have been made to look like I am anti-Ghanaian business. I'm anti-Ghanaian investors. They've called me all kinds of names. And I'm saying, hey, is this the same people who, during divestiture, under PNDC, NDC, said that 31st December Women's Movement should not be buying Sawam Cannery? Have you forgotten? Were we not all in this country?
Yeah.
I recall not too long ago when Bui Dam was being constructed, the General Secretary of the NDC at the time, who is now a national chairman, he thought that Bui Dam is being constructed in my village. Let me take advantage, open a block factory, so they can buy blocks from my block factory, small block factory. It was condemned. The NPP held a press conference, condemned the General Secretary. That is conflict of interest. Even he was not a cabinet minister. So what has changed? Where is principle? Where is consistency? I mean, this is brazen. But look, Alfred, let me confirm to you this morning that CHRAJ has responded to the complaint that I filed in a letter dated 20th May 2024, signed by Daniel Afechi, the principal registrar. It said, dear sir, petition against the Social Security and National Insurance Trust and Honorable Brad Champon on the sale and prospective purchase of SNIT 60% stake in its hotel investments. I write in acknowledgement of your complaint brought before the Commission, dated 16 May 2024, and to respectfully inform you that the Commission will revert to you in due course.
Yes, we have a copy of that. We'll
I can confirm that CHRAJ clearly is going to take action, and I will appeal to them that they should expedite action. You remember this Reverend Kusi Boateng Kwabena Edu-Jemfi petition?
Yes.
It's 16 months, and we are still waiting for CHRAJ's final ruling.
So what path will this petition take? I mean, now they've acknowledged receipt of it, then what?
Yes, so they have now written to all the parties to submit their responses, so SNIT, Honorable Brad Champon, and then we are also to stand by this letter. They may invite us. From my experience with CHRAJ, they will normally write to you, ask for some clarification, ask for more documents. They may also ask that you come for interviews and all of that. We have indicated, we have responded that we are standing by, we are ever ready, totally uncompromising in this matter, and we will comply. We just hope that they act with expedition on this particular complaint, because time is of the essence. If you look at the latest intercepted letters from SEM Capital and Rock City, what they are writing to the management of these hotels, they are moving in to take over. Because even the SNIT statement of 19th May, if you pay close attention, they say they are in the final stages. And they did not say that because of the petition, they will stop or halt the process. You know, organized labor has also indicated that they are worried that SNIT is proceeding.
That's why it's instructive you say, and Madam, I'm going to come to you, but if Ablakwa, you say that the workers of one of the 4 hotels being considered in this intended sale, and I have told you, and in fact the chiefs in the area have indicated that Brian Champong and some of his officials of Rock City have been cited on these properties already. When SNIT is saying in their statement that the negotiations have not concluded as yet. So what locus is Brian Champ, or that's if what you're saying is anything to go by, going to these properties to do inspection? For what? Because negotiations have not concluded as yet. That's what SNIT is saying in their statement, unless there's something to the contrary that you know.
Look, as for that SNIT statement, you should make little of it, because I have another letter here from SNIT, dated 27 March 2024, to the minority shareholders at Ridge Royal. And if you read this letter, they are categorical. They inform the shareholders that, as for them, they have selected Rock City.
Which letter is this?
This is notice of proposed sale of SNIT 60% equity stake in Ridge Royal Hotel, dated 27 March 2024.
And this is signed by who?
It's signed by Mr. Kofi Osafo-Maafo. He's everywhere. He's signing all the letters.
That's
the new Director General.
Director General.
Yes. He says, we write to inform you of SNIT's strategic decision to divest 60% of its stake in the hotels within its investment portfolio to a strategic investor. We are pleased to announce that we have identified a prospective buyer to acquire this portion of our stake in Ridge Royal Hotel. In accordance with the shareholders' agreement dated 1st April 1999, which outlines transfer restrictions on shares as per clause 5.2, SNIT is extending an offer to the minority shareholders of Ridge Royal Hotel to exercise their first right to purchase our 60% equity stake within a 45-day window. Failure to act within this specified time frame will result in a waiver of such rights. Per the provisions of clause 5.2, we provide the following details regarding the terms under consideration by the preferred bidder of the acquisition of SNIT's 60% equity stake in Ridge Royal Hotel. You see their words, preferred bidder. And then they state, prospective buyer, Rock City Hotel. Valuation of SNIT's 60% stake in Ridge Royal Hotel, $8.4 million. Capital expenditure projected for the refurbishment of the hotel, $2 million. So far as SNIT is concerned, they are proceeding. When they are writing to other shareholders, it's a fait accompli. They have selected Rock City, and they are handing over our hotels to him. And you see, don't forget that in this matter are also violent procurement breaches.
We'll come to that.